Hello, my name is Franklin and welcome to my channel. Today we have a maintainer. It's a Leadboy maintainer and the customer lost the key. They looked everywhere and they can't find it, so I'm going to install a Kubota switch. The Kubota switch can be used on many different types of equipment. You don't have to be just this Leadboy paper. Any piece of equipment that you lose a key for or you need an ignition switch, you can add this kind of switch. It works very, very good. So I'm going to install that switch and set this machine up for them. Let's get to it. If you look at this switch, this is a switch we normally use for diesel engines. If you look right there, you see it says preheat. If you turn this key to the left, you preheat the engine. You hold it usually for around 4 or 5 seconds to preheat the engine before you turn it all the way to the right to crank it. Okay, now this particular switch here is used on many different types of engines. Anything you need to make run that has a diesel engine is normally used. You can use this one here for. Now, I'm not sure how good it shows, but this one here is number 30. And number 30 is the wire that comes directly from the battery. And if you look at this one right here, it says AC. Now here you put your ignition switch and anything that has to be on when the key is on. And if you look at this one right here, it says number 17. Number 17 is where you hook your glow plugs. So when you turn it to the left, power comes out on this one right here. Number 19 is this one right here, which is not often used. Number 19, you usually have a jumper from here to there, and it goes to a light bulb, which lets you know your glow plugs are on. And then last but not least, you should have number 50 here. And number 50 is the one that goes to the small screw on your starter. This one here, number 50 here, is for cranking. So this goes on your starter, the small one. So that's how you set it up. And they're all numbered. They may not show very well on the camera, but you got 50, 19, 17, 30, and AC. Like I said, 30 coming straight from the battery. That's power coming in. And then number 17 will be your glow plugs. This will be a light. It's very seldom used to let you know your glow plugs are on. You got 50, that's for cranking the engine. It's a small wire on the back of the starter. You have a big one come from the battery and a small one, which is right here. And that cranks, when you turn it to the start position, power comes out of here and goes to the small wire in your starter. And then you have the AC wire here, which is the run, which will connect to your fuel solenoid, your lights, anything that cuts on while the key is on, radio and stuff, the power wire. Okay, so let's go ahead and install this switch. This here is the ignition switch right here, but we don't have a key for it, so we can't start the machine. And the customer wants me to replace the key, the switch and the ignition switch. So we'll open these up and pull this down, and the key, the switch is this one right here. Now I'm going to have to change the tabs, but looking at the first thing you want to do is find out which one is the power coming in. So these two are together. That one's probably the start right there, but we'll find out. So this one right here is probably the power. And the way to find that out is we'll use the multimeter. Let me get set up and be right back. Okay, this one right here is the ignition switch. So we'll go ahead and take it out of there. I'll use this big old wrench here and I'll unscrew it from there. Okay. This one switches out. And this is it right here. Okay. If you notice, this one right here is red and that one there is red. So one of these is going to be most likely going to be the power. We'll find out right now. So let's get this out of here. Okay. To find out which one is the main power from the battery, right now the switch is off, so only one wire should have power on it of all of them, and that's the one coming from the battery straight. That will be number 30. Okay, so we put it on DC volts right there. See, it's off here. AC volts, DC volts. We put it on DC volts right there, and then we put the black wire on the ground somewhere of the machine. I'm going to put it in the screw right here. That should be at ground. Then we touch each one of the wires, and one of them is going to read 12 volts. And it's this one. See, where you can see it. The first red one we touch, it is by itself, and it reads 12.4. And the rest of them should not read any voltage at all. So this is where the volt comes in on this red one here. And then as you turn it to different positions, it gets in. And one of them, okay, so this one right here, and one of them is going to be the starter. So to find out which one is the starter, the cranking, so this red one here, we know it's going to go on number 30. So we'll go ahead and pull it off. And if we touch, one of them is going to be a cranking wire. It's going to be by itself. The one we touch it, it should crank. Okay, so we know this one here, you hear that cranking noise? Hear that? So that means this is 30 and that one's 50 because it tried to crank the engine over. So let's go ahead and change these ends so they'll fit on the other switch, and we'll do them one at a time. That we won't get them mixed up. Now if you see, this switch here has these little tabs on it, and the Kubota switch has the screw that locks them down. They get a better connection. Look at the difference in the switch. Look at the difference. Now, you asked me why did I change the switch, the Kubota, instead of putting the original switch on there? Two reasons. One reason is he wants it fixed now. The other reason is once you install the switch, you never have to do it again. I installed some 13 years ago and they're still working on machines. And they're super heavy duty. Once you install them once, you ain't gotta worry about them no more. As long as you have them, you know, they're not like out in the rain 24 hours a day. You don't usually have any issue. And I already come with a preheater to the left that goes to number 17. The middle, AC. That's the one that's marked AC. That one right there. That's for your accessories, radio, lights, whatever, and your fuel solenoid, you know, ignition also. And it will be ignition also. So, and then to the right will be number 50, which is that wire we cranked with. And that'll be crank when it cranks. Okay. So, what I'm gonna do first is we're gonna change this because that one won't work with that particular machine. Oh, let me find some wire strippers. Okay, so this one here is 30 because it has the 12 volts to it. Even with the key off, it's the only one that has power. So this is going to be number 30. So we'll go ahead and cut this off here. And give it a little stripper. Strip it a little bit. Cut that one off. Strip it up a little bit. Okay. Oh man, I gotta pick those up. Okay. Let's put this right here. Okay. It's on there. Not coming off. Okay. So double check that wire. This tip should have 12 volts on it. See, it has 12.44. So this one here is your hot wire coming straight from the battery, and it goes on wire number 30. because 30 is the one that comes straight from the battery. Okay, so you can see, well, you can see, but there's a number 30 on there. Yeah, you can see the 30, you can see the AC, you can see the 50, you can see the 19, and then you can see the 17. So the 30 is the one we're looking for. 30 is the one where power comes in at. This one right here. Okay, and be careful, don't drop the screws. I do it all the time. Put it in there. Put it right there. And try not to drop it like I always do. Okay, get it in straight. Tighten it up. First one. Okay, now like I said, in order to find 50, which the second one you do, in order to find number 50, all you do is find out which one cranks the engine. So I tested them all, but this one here in the middle. Okay, so now this one right here is the one that goes to 50. We will connect that one next. Okay. Okay. Okay, 50 is this one over here. So that goes there. Okay, 50. Okay, now if you look at your switch, there are only 2 wires left, but if you notice, they're actually on the same tab. So the only 2 that are left, they have to be accessories. That's for your ignition. So that has to be accessory. They're on the same one. That's the only one that can be. So you got we already connected the main power bar, which was your 30. We connected your cranking wire, which was 50, and we'll connect your AC. It does not have a preheater on the switch itself. It may have one somewhere else on the engine, but it does not have it on the switch. So you won't have to use the preheat setting of the switch. And as a matter of fact, it's a case engine. So the case engine usually has electric preheater that sits in the air, not glow plugs. And it usually sits on a timer. So let's clean these 2 off. and put them on accessory because it's the only one that's left besides the glow plugs, and we're not going to use the glow plugs. Okay. Because without accessory it won't start. It has to be your ignition system. And glow plug wires will be very thick because they draw a lot of juice. Okay. So these two that were on the same tab have to be for accessories. And your fuel cut off, fuel cut on, solenoid. So go ahead and put those two in there together. Okay. Oops, wrong one. Okay. And this one will go on your AC, which stands for accessories. Which one is this one right here? Oops. See that? Hear that? That's your fuel shut-off solenoid. You cut it on. When your accessories touch there, that's how you test to make sure it is correct. Your fuel shut-off solenoid came on. That lets you know that it actually is the accessories. Okay. We'll turn it off because it's in on position. See? Now cut it off. That cuts every accessories on. The switch is off. Accessories off. Now we're going to give it a test. Do that. Crank right up. Okay, let's cut it off now. So, what we need to do now is mount it in that hole. Now, most of the time, the hole is too small because this Kubota deal has a big hole. So we screw this off. Like that. Take that off. Normally there's a gasket in there, but it's missing. And this one stays on the bottom like that. And then you just fit it in the hole to see if it fits. If it doesn't fit, then you got to go buy one of those tapered bits and make it work. Oh, this washer we can take off and put it on the outside. That doesn't fit. So we're going to have to open the hole up a little bit, very little. It almost fits. So we'll make that hole a little tiny bit bigger and we'll install the switch. Okay, I have this stone here. So what I'm going to do now is put it behind the hole and make it a little bit bigger. It's battery operated. Oops. Let's try it. A little bit more. too big. Just want to make it so it slides through there. There we go. Fits perfectly. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can flip it over without causing any damage. Okay. Then goes this washer here. And then this thing right here. The nut that locks it and holds it in place. So we're going to screw it on first and then turn it around and adjust it. Okay, it's on there now. Now we're going to adjust it. You see it there? Okay, let's find the key. Here's the key. So put that like this. Okay, that's the glow plug, so it does have glow. Let me see. Go like this. Turn it like that. Okay, we'll get a pair of pliers to lock it up. This light bulb goes in there. Okay, I'm gonna set it in there for now. Then we'll get a pair of pliers so we can lock up the switch and tighten it. Just be careful not to cross thread it, because then it won't be able to lock up. Okay, it's on there properly now. Okay. Then you hold the switch to the left and you tighten it up with the channel locks so that it doesn't, so it gets good and tight. You want to make sure the key, when it's in the off position, okay, now it should be straight up and down so they won't get confused. So we got to spin it around a little bit and then tighten it. Okay, it should be straight up and down, just like that. You want to tighten it up good so it doesn't spin. Okay. And there you go. It is in there. I'll put these screws back in. Okay. It was missing one because it was broken off, so it must have been that one. Okay. Okay. All back in. Now this switch here you can find on Amazon for $38. All you have to do is put in the search column Kubota switch and get the one with the fat key, like this. They have many different types, like 10 different types of Kubota keys, but the most popular is this one, which will be popped up, and the one that's the same but with a skinnier key. But if you get the key with the switch with this key, in the picture you'll see it, it'll be this one here. On this machine you gotta have it in neutral, so it's in neutral. We'll crank it up. Crank right up. We are good to go. Okay. I want to thank you guys for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Before you leave, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. We got a lot more coming.